Hi you guys, this is Shay-lon with Motivational Monday or Monday Motivational. Um, how was your guys' weekends? Hopefully fun filled. You were dripping sweat. That's always a bonus, right? I didn't go to the gym Saturday. Picked up some shifts at work for my coworker, but I went today and it felt really good. If you don't read my blogs, I do post my workouts on Instagram as well, and I've already posted today, so feel free to check it out when you get the chance. Um, Today's topic, I'm going to say it kind of slow because it's kind of confusing when I say it really fast. Remember where you were and don't judge where someone is now. If that's not already obvious what it means, I'm going to explain what I mean so that nobody gets confused. So we all started somewhere. We didn't come out looking like this, with a six-pack, nice arms and booty gains and D1 athlete. We didn't all come out looking like that. We had to start somewhere. We might have been the obese kid, the really skinny kid, the freckled faced kid. We started somewhere though. And we worked on ourselves. We found the courage, the discipline, the determination, willpower, and motivation to work on ourselves and better ourselves. And we came out a little bit more confident, a little more proud. We carry ourselves a kind of different way. Well, what tends to happen is we tend to throw shade at our past, right? And I don't mean necessarily like our past, but somebody who reminds us of our past. We tend to throw shade. For example, let's say your story was you were 400, 500 pounds overweight. You went, sought help, did what you had to do, you lost all your weight, now you feel better, now you come out good, you're alive, life is good. You go to Walmart, you go to the gym, you go to Finish Line, wherever you're going, and you see a lady or a man who's overweight, 400 or 500 pounds overweight, maybe even 200 pounds overweight. You throwing shade because maybe at Walmart they have Oreo cookies and no fruits or vegetables in their cart. And you're thinking, well, what's that going to do for you by eating those Oreos? You should be having fruits and vegetables in your cart. That's what you're thinking. You're throwing shade already because you're thinking that. You're assuming. Okay? Let's say at the gym you see them. And you know they're walking as slow as a sloth. You throwing shade because they're walking slow as a sloth. You thinking, well, what's walking that slow going to do for you? Right? But what you don't know, what you should know, but you don't know is their story. But what you should know is you've been there. You were that person. You were overweight and you had to work yourself down to where you are now. And you struggled. And there were people saying that same thing in their head about you, if not out loud. So how dare you throw shade? Because you see that they're struggling along their journey. And you don't know their story. This kind of goes in the stay in your lane kind of thing. But it also goes to prove that nobody is better than somebody else. No matter where we began and no matter where we end. Okay? Another example is, this is kind of petty, maybe not. You see a girl or a guy, maybe they found a workout off of YouTube and they liked it. So they went to the gym for the very first time and they tried it out. You see them doing it, but you know they ain't using the right form or technique. Instead of kindly trying to show somebody how to do it, you throwing shade. Well, she or he, I don't know why they're doing that exercise. They're not even doing it right. Looks sloppy. You can tell they haven't been in the gym before. You throwing shade. But there was once upon a time when you were doing an exercise and you didn't know what you were doing, but you were doing it. And guess who had to correct you? Guess what you had to do to make sure that your form was on spot? Who had to teach you how to do things if you didn't teach yourself? So it kind of goes back to we all started somewhere, right? We all started somewhere and we shouldn't forget where we started for that reason. So we can withhold a certain type of judgment against other people who are going through that journey. I find that a lot of people, when they get up to a certain point in their life where they've reached this success, physically, maybe mentally, financially, they tend to forget where they were. And so they tend to like throw shade at anybody that they once knew, once loved, once cared for, once spoke to, who isn't where they are. They tend to like make them feel like they're below, like they're inferior to themselves. And the sad part is, it's because they don't want to remember where they were. They don't want to remember back then. And it's okay to not want to go back. I don't want to go back. Well, I kind of do when I was 18, when I was a spring chicken. But it's okay not to want to go backwards if you reach this success, right? It's okay to do that. But it's not okay to forget on purpose in order to make yourself feel better, or in order to make yourself feel better than somebody else. You know what I mean? So my thing for all of you is, remember where you were so that you don't ever feel the need to throw shade at somebody else who's living that same journey. When you know their story, you have the right to judge, because now you know their story. You know a little bit more than I do by just looking at them. And we're human. We're going to judge nonetheless. That's cool. But it doesn't mean we have to be negative. We don't have to be negative. We can still be positive when we judge. It's a choice. So remember where you were. You don't have to go back. You don't have to want to. But always remember. Because the same day that you got that 6-pack, the next day you could lose it. The same day you lost that 80 to 100 pounds, the next week you could gain it back. The same day that you got blessed with all these things is the same week, the same month that it could be gone. And remember that. Don't get head blown up because you reached success and now you look like the best thing that hit GQ magazine. Don't get too blown up. Because I'm telling you, the same time that you get that, it could trickle away. I know that feeling all too well. So yeah, that was my Motivational Monday. Remember where you were and don't judge where someone else is at. Because I'm telling you, somebody might be obese, but if you were once obese, you were in their spot. You were at that store with those Oreo cookies. You were struggling on that treadmill. You were struggling with your confidence, your self-esteem at some point. All right? Don't you forget that. Don't you forget that. All right, everybody? So, hopefully this was just a positive vibe from me out of all the seriousness that I was talking about. Because it is serious. It does happen, and I see it. I mean, I know we're all probably guilty of it. I'm not afraid to say that. But I also don't go out of my way to do it on purpose. It might not always... I don't know. It's not something I go out of my way every day to go to the gym and make fun of somebody where I was once at. You know, I don't go out of my way and do it. Sometimes it's unintentional, but I do think to myself, like, wow, wait a minute, I was there. Nah, I shouldn't be throwing shade, bro. But, yeah, I hope this was a good, fun video. Subscribe, follow my social media. I love you guys. Thank you for following me and showing support. Have a good day. Bye.